Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Recovery, Part 6. Today is June 1st, 2020, and you are loved. And because it is Pride Month, especially to all of you who are celebrating it in one way or another, just know that we believe in you, we respect you, and know that we are rooting for you, whatever your choices may be. If this is your first time joining us, maybe you would like to go to youtube.com/indoor adventures, where you can catch up on all of the VODs of our previous sessions, or if you're an audiocast styled person, you can instead find us anywhere where audiocasts are made available for free. Speaking of things that are currently being made available for free, right now we have our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other. That is currently being made available for free. We are just hosting it on Patreon. So if you want to go to patreon.com/indoor adventures, you can find even more of our wonderful speaking voices. If you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube, Twitch, all of those awesome things, consider possibly indooradventure.redbubble.com. We got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, and I swear to Tiamat later tonight I will have those masks up and ready. I have the pattern. I have just been caught up with a lot of stuff, and I also have a summer cold, which really blows, but it's whatever. And of course, if you already support us with those assortment of things, we teamed up with our dear friend Babars behind the Power Outage Tabletop RPG to help promote the Shelter in Play bundle that's currently going on TriThruRPG. It's over $170 worth of content for the low price of $10. All of the proceeds of which go to the Child's Play Charity Foundation, which is very cool. I really appreciate it and enjoy it. So, hey, consider checking that out. But that is it for my spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Alberjean Ossifor, Warlock Barbarian, and hopefully maybe Caelum tonight? Shatterkai Wizard Cleric, maybe. Hope you got that transition ready, babe.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. I don't like that Indoor didn't respond to that in any way. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on Twitter. Catch me a lot this week. This I'm already losing it. I have new kittens, and so I'm going to be staying up. So this is the beginning of the end for a while. So this is the best it's gonna be.
Hi, I'm Cyber. You could catch me outside. How about that? I play Arjhan, the Draconian Blood Hunter fighter. That's it. That's his class for now. Him.
For now. Hi, I'm Wings. I'm going to be playing as Coriander the Elgin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, the group decided to make a quick trip through the Hells to cut off about a week's worth of travel from your overall journey to get to Galay. As you were about to go through the Hells, you had received a message from an old adventuring companion named Prescott, who had informed you all that he and his traveling companion Mugwort were under attack. Oh, Cos, thank you for the biddies. It was then that you decided to expedite your trip as quickly as possible to get to the city of Galay. Upon arriving, you ended up meeting with Prescott and Mugwort at the bar known as Keller's. Upon speaking with him, you felt like there was something very off. He didn't seem to have any recollection of communicating with your group. And after a series of remove curses, he and Mugwort recalled the event that had led to them messaging you in the first place. An event that showed that Caelum is more or less alive and well, although is currently with Elisharis. Now, thankfully, you were able to gather enough information after encountering Crow and Emil the Boar that you were able to pinpoint relatively where Caelum is, and together with the remains of Off Constantly, as Farron had been kidnapped by Elisharis and Caelum, you made your way to the fortress that you know your friend to be held at currently. The Calethorn Fortress. Where we last left off, it was nightfall. You were all debating as to whether or not Gwen should light a signal fire or send some way of alerting her Goliath companions before you decided to make your way to the fortress, and you had heard some unearthly bellowing off in the distance. So, what would you all like to do?
Should we go look at that?
I believe you've already gone and done that for us, haven't you?
Yeah, you already rode with Cybra for a while to scout out the area, but didn't come back with anything.
Oh, right. I have no idea what that was. It's
I
on my
believe you
game.
also have come to the conclusion that this was the giant in the plains.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Seems accurate.
At the rate at which the information Gwen has given us, would it possibly meet us on the way or at the castle?
No.
Good. At least that's one thing we don't have to worry about for the time being.
It seems like, if anything, based off of the information that Gwen had given you, had you not expedited your trip, you may have met it out in front of the fortress, but you were able to actually get to this fortress at a much quicker rate than the shadow giant.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to the... Should we signal the Goliaths or not? I mean, they're not very stealthy, but they will pack a hell of a punch.
Do you have like an army of Goliaths or just a couple of scouts?
Scouts.
Arjhan is clearly like contemplating, and it's not just because Connor is.
Also, Connor, have you rolled your blood die for the day?
I thought I did last time, but I don't remember what it is.
Then let's just roll a new one.
Right, I'm gonna roll on D&D Beyond using the new Theros die.
Yeah. Which Theros comes out tonight, so,
And
get ready.
And half of the profits go to Black Lives Matter, so that's cool. 11.
Okay. 11's good. So,
While
Cori.
while he's doing his blood die, I should probably roll my my season change.
All right, what season do you want to change to?
Summer.
Okay.
And I rolled, it's a wisdom save, I rolled a 23.
Okay. 23 is more than enough.
Woo!
Changed.
Oh, we get spicy Cori today.
Hot. I'm very
She's all
tired.
right.
If they're experimenting with elementals, it might be important for somebody to know Ignin while we're in there.
All right.
Who knows Ignin?
I do.
She became one with the fire. She touched the fire and it freezes her. It's a Buffy reference.
Okay. All right, so to call the Goliaths or not to call the Goliaths?
We're gonna say no?
I think no.
Okay.
Like
Alright.
you only have scouts, and best we can hope for is that they distract it.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I don't. He's saying all this out of character, but
Yeah.
I don't want you killing your
Right.
tribe
My peeps.
just for that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're gonna try and stealth in.
Okay. So what we are going to do for this is that we're going to do a skill challenge. So
Sorry.
Mugwort and Prescott are going to be lending one of you an assist for your check as we go in for the skill challenge on their round. I'll be rolling a d4 to determine who they are going to be giving that assist to. They will be acting on initiative count 20.
Neat.
So are we rolling initiative now?
Yes. For the
Okay.
skill challenge,
Oh, that was cool. I rolled a natural 20. So my Theros die, the 20, it flipped to a Medusa head, and then the rest of the die turned to stone.
that's
It was
cool.
fucking,
Ah,
fucking
That
cool.
is super cool. Whilst you rolled a natural 20, I rolled a natural 1. So I'm on initiative 2.
Did
Middle
your
of
die
the road.
do anything cool?
Alberjean, what'd you roll?
Oh, middle of the road. 10.
Okay. Gwen?
13.
And Arjhan, you said that you got a natural 20, but what's your dex?
23.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So, Arjhan, you are going to be going first in this skill challenge. So, what skill are you going to be using to help get up to the fortress? Because right now you are still on the outside and need to make your way there.
I would like to just scan the area for any telltale signs of arcane walls or magical defenses using my Arcana skill.
Okay.
Lloyd, Vaping Undead. I'm going to assume no.
No.
Okay. 14.
Okay, a 14 is not enough. At this point, you feel like you are looking for just one higher, and I'll let you guys know. You're looking for 15 on this right now. So, 14 as
I
you
rolled
were...
an 8.
Yes. So as you are trying to do your best spot for these arcane wards, it is... If you had just spent a little bit more time, you feel like right now your decision making is being slightly clouded by the fact that you know that your friend is in there. He is within reach, at least you hope so. And as you're passing, you feel like your foot crosses something. And as you look down, you can see that there is a thin thread of silver that seems to have broken at your shin.
No.
And you see fires being lit on the inside of the fortress.
Just go. Just go.
Gundor calls for aid.
Okay.
Now all of China knows you're here.
All right, so next up is Mugwort and Prescott, and they are going to be giving... They're going to be giving Cori their aid. So, Cori, you will have advantage on your check this turn. Next up is Alberjean.
I think... That's a disadvantage. I don't want to do that. Maybe a history check to kind of remember guards' detail patterns of like the previous institute, so that we can probably try and formulate a better plan to get in.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
16.
16? Okay. So, thankfully, Discovery, although they like to, experiment around and dabble in things they shouldn't have, when you find a successful patrol pattern, or at least like some sort of personalized guard that really works for you, you don't really tend to try something new. You just kind of go with what works. Thankfully, you have been in the shoes of these ASMR before as well, and you are able to help your party infiltrate into this area. knowing that there is a break between guards. You aren't necessarily familiarized with this institute compared to the last one, but you know that they are gearing up and that alert is currently high. But thankfully, with that, you know that they're all going to get geared up, so there's a little bit of time for you to quickly infiltrate. All right, so next up is Gwen. Gwen, what do you do?
Gwen is going to act as a sort of like the you know when you go through an obstacle course and there's always that person at the top of like one of the rope things and they're pulling people over or like lifting people up at the bottom. That's what Gwen's doing right now. She's like, anything we need to get over, she's up at the top just like one-handing people over
There's
it.
a high wall, and she's like netting her hand to boost everyone up.
Yeah, boost everyone up like a foot. She's just like
Think about your
cheerleader,
strength. You
hoist
can
them
just
up.
fucking toss them.
That's true. So I'm gonna roll an athletics check.
Okay.
15.
That is exactly what you needed. So you are able to quickly just toss everyone up. Thankfully, Arjhan has wings, so as you're all getting onto this higher wall, he's able to just grab you, and then the both of you are able to get up onto this wall. Looking down, you can see that there are members of this ASMR unit that are kind of scrambling around. And there are even a few that are here on this wall that you are currently inhabiting. But you can see that Prescott and Mugwort are actually taking care of these guys while you are all getting up here. They have found themselves to be somehow useful in this current situation. Maybe they're not such bad guys after all. Next up, Cori.
Standing on top of this wall, Cori's going to give the complex a visual sweep, and she's going to try and discern which direction is going to be the best way to go, which way is going to be the best way to get in, meeting minimal resistance, but like getting in as quickly as possible.
Okay.
With a perception check.
Sure.
And at advantage because my boys are helping me.
You.
Nice. All right, that's a 23.
Okay, that succeeds. So, Cori, you are able to identify two different pathways that you would be able to take to actually get to where you believe Caelum to be. One, you've been told on several occasions that there is a fully functioning spire here within the keep or within the fortress itself. You aren't really sure what all that means, but as you look towards where the spire is, this singular tall pillar in the middle of an otherwise rather squat fortress, you see that there are what look to be angled mirrors that are located at the top, and then some are segmented down as well. And it seems like there's almost a descending pattern to them. And thinking about it, you're fairly certain that you remember hearing laboratories in the basement. If that is the case, perhaps through this, like jumping into the spire, you would be able to drop all the way down. Which, a little bit of a dangerous play, considering, you know, the falling. The other option is to get down to the base floor. You're fairly familiar with general fortress layouts. You know that any passageways down would probably be near where this spire is. So if you got to the base floor, you'd be able to go over and go through that doorway to actually find yourself towards the descent into the lab. So which way does Cori start directing her friends? Towards the spire or down to the bottom floor?
The spire would be the more dangerous route,
Yes.
is what you're saying.
It would be more direct, but it would be dangerous.
Cori has historically been direct and dangerous, but she's been reprimanded for that before. She is going to choose the safer route.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're able to then move down and start directing your friends towards this safer route as well. And thankfully, as Alberjean had stated earlier, he is pretty familiar with the overall guard frequency and patterning. So between the two of you, it's rather easy to kind of find a pathway that you think would lead you to safety at this point. Arjhan, what would you like to do?
What was the last skill that was used?
The last skill that was used was perception.
Okay. I would like to investigate one of like are we sorry, remind me, are we in the place right now?
You're in the fortress, but up on one of the walls. You've kind of dealt pretty quickly with some of the patrolling units that were up high without causing any kind of excess alarm, but you still see people down below that are mobilizing.
Okay, me just like looking at the layout of the fortress and trying to figure out a way in and possibly down. That wouldn't be investigation, that would be perception, right?
Thankfully, Cori has already identified the pathway that you need to take in order to get down and then into the actual fortress.
Cool. So, okay, if we see people mobilizing, I want to try and gauge some insight onto like what direction I think that they're going to start going,
Okay.
and try and lead us into a direction that we can avoid meeting them.
Okay, make an insight check.
Nah, 8.
Gotcha. So you have a fairly good idea where you think that these guards are going. You also are familiar with military style tactics, and you're fairly certain that they are going to be going outside to where the alarm spell ended up being triggered from. And as you're leading your party members down to one of the pathways that Cori had specified, a set of these ASMR guards come from behind the doors, and one of them has what looks like a more cat-like mask, and the other seems to have the mask of what looks like a snake of some sort of venomous history. And the two of them are in the process of coming around this corner. So Mugwort and Prescott are going to give Alberjean some aid for the next challenge. So Al, what would you like to do in this situation?
Just gonna pray this works. He's going to step into the hallway and bark at them to head to the courtyard.
Okay, make a
The
deception
deception
check.
check.
Yep.
That's good. That's better. 21.
Okay, 21. They see your regalia, and just nod and quickly make their way towards the courtyard, leaving your path. That is a success.
It's a good thing some of these guys are dumb as bricks.
Okay, next up, Gwen.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to, I don't want to intimidate anyone because that's like not the best. I will use my time in the wild to maneuver through this castle. I've been here before. I mean, in this area. I might have been in here before. We don't know. I was a precocious child. I like to explore. So I'm gonna use survival.
Okay.
Oh boy. Damn it. 12.
Okay.
Wait, 14. Nope, 12. Math is hard.
Okay, so with your 12, that is a failure on the skill challenge. So as you're saying, don't worry, I've been here before, I know where I'm going. You end up leading your party into what would appear to be the mess hall. Thankfully, the majority of the ASMR have cleared out, but you see that there is one that is currently wearing a chef's apron, and they have a large meat cleaver in their hand, and they look towards you, and they point with the meat cleaver, and they seem to recognize that you guys aren't like wearing masks or part of the group. Al is, but there are 5 of you who aren't.
I want that cleaver.
Okay, so
Is it getting
then
yanked
next up,
out of the room?
Cori.
Corey's going to hold off the chef while everybody else moves on, and then lose him using athletics.
Okay.
17.
Okay, 17 is a success. So luckily, you are able to just jump over, vault over one of these tables, and you begin just, like, you knock this dude out, just one pop, back of the head, he just falls down unconscious. And thankfully, your group has now seeming to have gotten free from any of the ASMR that have been following you. The skill check is not over, however. You still need to get to the basement. You are in the mess hall area. Arjhan, what would you like to do?
I would like to investigate.
Okay, make an investigation check.
14.
Okay.
I'm a great investigator.
All right, so Arjhan, as you are investigating around the mess hall, you end up going into the kitchen area. And while you are there in the back of this room, you see that there is an open slot that seems to be covered in various grime and viscera and, for the lack of a better word, entrails. It seems like this is the game preparation area for the fortress itself, and you know that this chute will actually lead to the basement. As far as a direct route, you will possibly, more likely than not, be landing on a big pile of yuck down below, but you know that this is the quickest and probably safest way that you will be able to get down onto the lower level.
I hate this.
Gwen loves this.
Okay. And so you slide down the waste chute into the lower portion of the fortress. And after you are covered in all of this grime and bile, Prescott is going to just start casting prestidigitation on everyone to clean up this mess. But because he is doing that, he will not be able to assist this round. So, next up is Gwen.
Gwen. I would like to use athletics again. It's the only thing I'm good at, besides intimidation.
Okay, the last person didn't use athletics, and you didn't use
Correct.
athletics last time, so how do you athletics your way deeper into this fortress?
So we land in the garbage room, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when the walls start closing in, Gwen just holds them apart. So...
What the hell? This is
This is a Star Wars.
not a
game.
Star
Oh,
Wars. This is just a room.
One is going to...
What happened to narrative control for the player?
Yeah, come on.
Walls are closing in.
Sure.
When the trash compactor activates, Gwen is going to use athletics to maneuver her way, through the ventilation system to get out of the room because it's locked from the outside. So she has to vault up into the ceiling, climb around, find a way down, crawl past a room where people are having a card game or something, and then crawl a little bit further. I'm on a roll tonight, guys. You
Let's
don't
do
even know.
it. Roll that athletics check.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay, you do it. There is a You can feel the Tempest's blessing in a slight tune that plays in the back of your head that goes do 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 do. It's just the Mission Impossible theme as you're going.
I love it.
But you are able to get up to this here garbage room and unlock the door for your companions to then all come out. So that is a success. We just need 2 more successes, guys. So then next up is Alberjean.
When we get out into this hallway, what do we see?
When you get out into this hallway, you see that there are a series of doors along the side. And you know that typically Discovery will have his laboratory in the largest possible room that they have. Now, you know roughly the direction that the spire was, and based off of what Cori was able to point out with those series of mirrors, you are guessing that the laboratory is at the base of this spire. So you have a relatively good direction of how to maneuver yourself underneath this fortress to get there.
I guess I was gonna take a moment and try and listen in. Are there any guards here? If he can hear like the buzz of electricity to like pinpoint it with like a perception check.
Thankfully, there is no hum of electricity, but as Gwen had already narrowly avoided a group of guards playing cards or something in a room that was locked, she is able to let you know that there is indeed a presence of individuals down below.
He's gonna open the door and say, well, he's gonna tell everyone else to hide real quick, and he will use persuasion to try and say that boss wants them upstairs somewhere, like in the courtyard.
Okay.
Thank God for the plus 18.
Oh my goodness. Plus 18? That's preposterous.
No, plus 8. Plus 8, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Again, it seems like these guards, you know, you look like a superior officer. They're obviously going to listen to you about what the boss wants them to do, and they all manage to pick up their things very quickly, apologize to you profusely for having slacked on their duties, and then they are going to make their way upstairs as well.
Listen, I'm good at 3 things, and Gwen is only good at 1 of them, so I have to use the other 2.
All right. Cori.
Unfortunately, the other 2 are the things that I'm good at. Let's see. We're down in the basement now, searching for the laboratory.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know that based off of what Al has said, that the laboratory is probably underneath where the spire was.
Okay. I can justify either a perception or a survival check for this to just try and keep our bearings underground.
Okay.
It's the same either way for me.
Sure. Take your pick.
I'm gonna say survival. It makes the most sense for not getting lost. CX.
Okay. So that was the make or break for successes and fails for this. So there is not going to be any time for prep before the door opens to the laboratory. So as you approach this set of doors, you know that behind it leads the laboratory. Cori, you are currently in your summer form, and try as you might, God's blood, your friend is in there, and he is in trouble. Fuck all this noise. Fuck holding back. You are so close to victory, you can almost smell it. And as your group pushes open this set of doors that lead into the laboratory, and the 6 of you, being obviously the 4 keeps, and Prescott and Mugwort enter into this room, you see that there is a small bin that currently has what looks to be a small wooden marionette styled puppet resting in it that has currently been set ablaze. And you see Elisharis, and she is looking at the door as your group has busted in. You see that there is a human-looking man who stands maybe about 5'8", 5'9", who has a silvered sword with a nice emerald set into the pommel that Arjhan, Gwen, and Cori would all recognize as being Farron's sword. But you see that this individual wears upon their face the mask of a hyena. And they look at your group, and as the hyena and Elisharis both look at you, there is a third individual who is wearing what looks like a mask representative of a Stellar's Jay. And the hyena-faced individual looks at your group and says, "It's been a while, haha."
You fuck! You fuck!
Indoor, what the fuck?
So,
Indoor.
thankfully, everybody has already rolled for initiative, so it makes things really easy to lead into combat for this situation. So, there will be no surprise round. You guys have entered into the situation, and from the back of this laboratory, you can see that there is another set of doors that has almost a deep purplish energy that seems to be just seeping out from underneath said doors. So at the top of the round is going to be Arjhan and Mugwort. And Mugwort looks stunned. He sees Farron, but Farron is not there. And he goes to grip his set of twin hand axes, and he looks towards your group for some sort of what to do.
Sorry, I'm trying to recover from the what's body horror whenever it's like your mind and your like essence. Anyway.
Mind fuck.
Mugwort's at the top of the round.
I'm going to light my crossbow and hold my action until somebody else like starts shooting.
Okay. Mugwort is going to charge at Elisharis. And
oh hell yeah.
Does anybody speak Dwarven?
No.
He is yelling what you're guessing are obscenities in Dwarven as he rushes up onto Elisharis, and he is going to try.
I've heard some of those before.
Attacks. Yeah, you have. Just normally not in this context. And he is going to miss with his first hand axe, but he is going to connect with his second hand axe. So Elisharis is going to be taking some damage. So, boo, boo, boo. She takes a total of 12 points of slashing damage. And then it is Arjhan's turn. Arjhan, you said that you were holding an action until somebody decided to make an aggressive action.
Yep, and I'm going to follow up on Elisharis. Yeah. Does 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit. It easily bounces off of the plate mail she wears.
Does anybody remember what I got on my blood die?
An 11.
An 11? Okay, I'm going to follow up with another shot. I will take the 11, which will make it a 21, and I want to make this shot with the walloping ammunition that I got like 3 arcs ago.
Okay.
From the Sea Hag.
It was like 6 arcs ago.
Yep. So let's roll that. Let's roll some damage. 14 points of piercing. 3 points of fire. And. She must make a DC 10 strength saving throw.
Oh, strength save?
Yeah.
She got an 8.
She is knocked prone.
Okay. Elisharis is knocked prone.
That's it.
Next up, Prescott is up in the round, and he looks at Stellar's J, he looks at Farron, and he looks at Elisharis. And Cori, you are familiar with seeing Prescott looking upset, a little peeved. There is a darkness in this elven man that he does not like to let out. And it seems like he takes enjoyment being able to save that hatred for very special occasions. And he is going to cast a chromatic orb at 5th level. For a natural fucking 20. And he is going to be doing frost damage. So, chromatic orb. Arjhan, how many dice is a regular chromatic orb?
A regular chromatic orb is 3d8, and it goes up by 1d8 for each slot above first. So 5th level should be 7d8.
14d8.
Okay.
Holy.
I'm just going to get a dice roller for that because I don't have 14d8.
You don't have 14d8?
With D&D Beyond, it's never
I could
been
possibly
easier.
roll that with D&D Beyond.
Do it. Tell me what Prescott's damage is for this
5, 6,
ice
7, 8,
orb.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14?
Yes.
14.
Yeah.
Indoor, let me know if any of my allies roll a 1.
Will
Just
Oh.
God damn it. 42.
do. Okay.
There was like one die that landed on a whole bunch of other ones, and so it was like sliding off, but it was 7 showing up, and then whenever it finally fell off, it turned into a 1.
And as Prescott just slams into Elisharis with this chromatic orb, you can see that he has wanted to do that for so long, and this is his moment. He gets to have his bit of reprieve as well. So then next up in the initiative order is Elisharis. And Elisharis has Mugwort right in front of her, and likewise she has been thinking of moments like this for quite some time. And she is going to raise up her hands, and with a ever-present darkness emerging over her, she is going to cast Guardian of Faith. So, any creature that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for its first time. Yes, Al?
Counterspell 4th level.
Okay. Sounds good.
He will wag a finger at her.
All right, sounds good. So, just checking. Yep. 'Tis good. So, you counterspell her, and she just looks at you with the same level of, who the fuck are you? Like, get up there and go back to work. Like, not me, them. She doesn't realize who you are in this situation.
Dumb as bricks.
You took everything from me. I don't even know you.
You killed my father. Do you realize how little that narrows it down?
And then it is Stellar's J's turn, and they are going to... It's almost like a chirping sound seems to emanate from inside of the mask. Gwen, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh boy, is this against being frightened?
It is against being charmed.
Oh. I'm being summoned. 10.
Okay, that is not enough to make the spell save. They have cast Dominate Person onto you.
A +3 probably wouldn't have helped, right? Okay, just checking.
Tell me what that does, Ian.
They are going to tell you to, like, they will point at those that you came in with and say, kill them.
Oh, daddy. All right.
And you know, there is definitely the promise of coitus if you do what they ask. All right, so that is it for the Stellar's J's turn. Next up is the hyena. And the hyena, in a typical fashion, will say, just look at all of these neat tricks that I've learned. Haha! And they are going to drop a satchel onto the ground, and with a swinging motion, they are going to cast a catapult spell towards your back group. So this bag is going to launch towards Prescott. And that is a 19 to hit, but Prescott will use his reaction for a shield spell.
Isn't catapult a dex save?
I believe you were right, in which case that would have been a 16, which saves. So it takes half damage on the impact, so it's half of 3d6. So half of 11 for 5. But when the satchel hits, the first time that you had met Farron and he had used a trick like this, it was full of ball bearings. There is a burst of bright light, and it seems like this was a dazzling potion that was stuck in, or a dazzling tincture that was stuck inside of this bag. So I need everybody to make dexterity saves, or risk being blinded for a turn.
This is an effect we can see.
It is an effect you can see.
But I don't want to look at.
Do not perceive.
Gwen,
27.
you are also in this group. So 27, you're fine.
17.
17 is fine.
16?
14.
With advantage? Okay.
+3?
Oh, not +3. 17.
Okay, 17's fine. Al, what'd you get?
16.
A 16 is just enough. So
Coriander, it's okay.
then you all succeed on preventing yourselves from being blinded by this flashbang that ended up getting sent your way. So that is it for Stellar's J. They are then going to chirp something out towards Elisharis. You are assuming that it is a possibly like a bardic inspiration style thing. So that is it for their turn. Next up is Gwen. Gwen, you have been given a pretty righteous command.
Solid. I would like to rage.
Okay.
Tiny rage. And then, who's next to me?
When you had entered into this room, it was either Al or Cori. So roll a d20.
Oh, roll a d20.
Yeah.
I just rolled a d6.
I am also in summer form.
5.
Okay, so a 5. That would be the low end, so you'd be striking against Al.
All right, get ready. All right. 28
Too high.
and 25.
Still too high.
Uh-huh. It's okay, honey. I'm not gonna kill him. 4. Oh, that's actually terrible. 7 + 2. 11 and 11. I rolled 2 2s. What is it? Do I need to like use my Action surge.
You don't have to.
I'm not compelled to.
No.
All right, cool. And Gwen has this fury in her eyes, and she's like, I mean, I feel like you guys would know that she's not doing this of her own free will.
Oh yeah,
Traitor!
There is
Yeah.
definitely a violet tinge to Gwen's eyes at the moment.
Also,
Oh, it's so tiny.
what are you saying?
Al, it is your turn.
I recognize that Gwen has been dominated.
Yes.
That wasn't the situation
He's
before.
seen
but
that
okay.
before.
Boo to the both of you. Stop. Gross.
He's going to. Oh, this is going to be a bad idea. Let's have at it then. He's going to use Radiant Consumption and rush up to Stellar J.
Okay. So radiant consumption, do you burn when you first pop it, or if they spend the turn there?
At the end of my turn.
Okay, got it.
Cloak of Flies is when it's their turn and they're still in the aura.
Gotcha.
Smack him in the face with this Urgosh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Stellar's J will use their reaction to make you use your reaction to do it, yes.
Okay. Did I roll at advantage? I did roll at advantage. I guess I was recklessly attacking, yeah? That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Checks out.
That would be definitely enough. 25 for 12 points of damage. Sorry.
I'm guessing a natural 20 hits.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, dude.
Dumping 5th level smite on this one. This is the combo.
Wombo combo.
This is the wombo combo. I need a calculator. Sorry.
He got a 12 on his deck save to not be pushed.
If there's a wall 15 feet behind him, he's taking another d6.
Yep.
Of course. Right. Righteous. Right. Let me just... Ooh, could I have great weapon man? Oh, well, no, it's too late for that already. I'll do it on the next hit. Sorry, I'm just looking for numbers at this point.
I'm terrified to know what this is.
Oh, sorry, it's 4th level
Okay.
smite, but I just want to double check how much dice I get on top of it. So, 2d8. So at this level, okay. Is there any resistances, or can I just total it up?
Just total it.
Okay. 70 points of damage overall.
Okay.
Is he still living?
Roll a d6.
Uh-oh. What? Why?
No.
Why?
Alberjean.
4.
4. He was living. You know, it's one of those things. It's not the fall that kills you. It's hitting the ground, and that is what you did to Stellar's J. You one-shot this bard, and he now is a crumpled mass on the side of the floor.
It's just a low golf swing and punts him to the other side of the room.
Okay, well, hey, guess who's no longer concentrating on a spell?
Did Elishars get up?
No, it has not been her turn yet. Do it.
I have another attack. 23.
Okay, a 23 definitely hits.
2d6. Oh, that's fun. 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And does she get sent into the ground even further from the force?
She succeeds on her dex save, thankfully. So no crater hammer, but close.
Alright. Well, at the end of my turn, she's taking... Well, everybody... Well, she, Hyena, and Mugwort are taking... How much at this level? Motherfucker. Sorry. I have a lot going on, both in-game and out. 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And I take 3.
All right, sounds good.
Tornendo.
So that was Alberjean. Gwen, you are no longer charmed because that dude died. Yeah, it was a good
That
time.
wasn't Caelum, right? We're
No.
100%.
Yeah.
Reveals the mask. Ooh.
Was this your boy? So next up, the door that is on the other side of this room cracks open, and you hear, "What is going on in here?" And poking their head through this cracked door, you see a blue-skinned tiefling wearing this rather nice white lab coat with a set of ibex horns growing out of their head. And Al, you recognize this individual most certainly. And as they poke their head out, they turn and look towards you and just, "Jackal, finally come to your senses, I see."
Oh, I came to my senses a long time ago, and I'm here to say, and he'll thump the great hammer against his hand, I'm home.
And he says, "Well, that's awfully good to hear. So I need you to make a wisdom save."
Oh, boy. 16?
Okay, a 16 is not enough.
Oh, boy.
Alberjean.
Did Connor just scream just now?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Alberjean, you take the bodily form of a jackal as he casts polymorph onto you.
I'll pull up the beast stats.
Okay. So then that is it for Discovery's turn. Cori. Discovery has come through this door but did not shut it behind him. And through this door you can see violet energy that seems to be coursing up from the ground. And you can see the outlines of a robed figure that looks like they are closer to around Mugwort's height.
Cori takes a deep breath, and then she takes a ready stance, and there is some flames that fly off of her in a concentric ring around her. And she's going to face step behind Discovery. He's going to need to take... There's no save for this. He takes 3 fire damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
And when you take damage, you have to do a Constitution save, right?
You do.
Or a concentration save.
He got a 22 on his con save.
He's fine.
21.
I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
Wait, actually, hold on. Mage Slayer, does he get disadvantage at that? Okay, only if I use my reaction to attack him. All right.
Gotcha.
I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
I know how to do math. 24.
Okay, a 24 most certainly hits.
All right. I'm going to put a second level smite on here. That's going to be 10 slashing damage. And then 4, 8, 16, 21 radiant damage.
Oh boy.
And then here comes the second attack. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
Okay. An 18. They are going to use their reaction and cast shield. So the 18 does not hit.
All right.
But does that mean she can use her reaction to attack?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
He is unaware that you are a mage slayer.
As it turns out, does the attack hit before or after the spell is cast?
The attack hits before. Because
Okay.
it is in reaction to the spell being cast, so it's not the spell's resolution.
All right. 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And another second level smite.
Okay.
Woof. Amazing. Okay. That's gonna be 9 slashing damage. And then 16 plus 9, 25 radiant damage.
Oh, no.
And this concentration save will be at disadvantage.
Say 29.
I said 25.
25. Got it. Well, at disadvantage, that is a 12. His con drops because he needed to beat a 14. So Jackal, you are no longer a Jackal.
But
Yeah,
then
it does
his
remove-
then his shield still goes
Yes.
up, right? Okay. Wow, I'm trying to parse the logistics of how she managed to attack mid-attack.
You kicked him.
I guess.
Or
he
yeah,
begins to like.
he cast
Yeah.
and you just fucking headbutt him.
Or like it was just like a super fast flurry of swords, and like she, instead of taking the quote unquote second attack, she like did a quick turn and like moved her like put her sword in like a backhanded position and like just stabbed up and under the shield.
Ooh, pummel butted him.
Nice.
All right, I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Next up is Mugwort, who is directly onto Elisharis. And they are going to use some axes and heck and stab and miss the first time.
Does it have advantage? She's prone.
Oh, right. Yes, thank you. That still didn't hit, so, second attack, still at advantage. God damn, man.
He's overcome with emotions.
He's crying. He's crying a lot right now. He misses his boy and Farron. He doesn't know what's happening. And Arjhan, it is your turn. And also, before we continue on, Cori, you teleported behind Discovery, correct? So you are in the room that has the coursing energy coming from its floor, correct?
Yes.
Now that you are in this room, you can see this shorter individual that is looking in your direction, and you see that it is an older dwarven man, and he is standing next to what you know to be Caelum. And there is a large arcane circle that is on the ground underneath them. And you see that there are 5 glowing purple rings on each of Caelum's right hand that seem to just be made of this sickening purple energy. Arjhan.
I want Discovery to make a wisdom save.
Discovery makes a 24.
He is not paralyzed by a hold person. Cool. I would like to hex Discovery
Okay.
as my bonus action. Give him disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
And I would like to action search
Okay.
to make a couple of crossbow attacks.
Sure. Attuned.
At Discovery.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit. And you did see them cast a shield spell.
What about a 24?
A 24 does hit.
Piercing necrotic fire, any
No resistances.
fire?
Fire?
Yes, there would be resistance on that. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. So altogether, after reducing the fire damage, it's going to be 19 points of damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
That concentration check, though.
He had already failed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still good, though. And on Prescott's turn, the door that Cori is at, you see opens just from the sheer amount of tussle that is currently happening in this doorway. And as the doorway stretches open, you can see, all of you can, that there is this glowing circle on the ground. There is this older dwarven man, and there is the visage of your friend. And Caelum is wearing this owl mask that is eerily reminiscent of Jackal's mask. And the dwarven man looks up towards Caelum and says something in Dwarven to him. And as he does, you hear one word that you recognize, that all of you recognize. Sabrak. And you see Caelum nod and reaches into a coat pocket and sets a brick out in front of him and releases. And as he does, the brick continues to float. And he thrusts his right hand forward, and it looks like for a moment that these glowing rings that are on his fingers all seem to stop. And then his hand goes forward and he makes a twisting motion. And when he does, the room illuminates in this brilliant violet color. And they disappear. But hovering in the air from where they disappeared is still the remnants of this teleportation magic that was used. And Prescott calls out to your group and says, "You need to go now. The thing is going to collapse at any moment. We can hold these ones off, but this is your last chance. This is your only chance. Don't fuck this up by worrying about us. Just go."
Gwen's gone by the time he says go.
And on it still being his turn, he is going to... He's going to cast another chromatic orb, but this time at Discovery. Holy shit! Go Prescott! As a 4th level icy chromatic orb as a natural 20. So that's 12d8 total. What a good boy.
They've only survived this long because of Prescott.
All right,
It's nice when you have your
would
wizard
you
in
mind
the party.
rolling for it?
12.
Yes.
D8.
Yes.
$64.
Yeah, he did. And Al, as you are looking at this individual, you just see this sphere of pure ice just drive into his upper half. And they just go careening off to the side, no longer moving. What do you all do? Gwen is said that she's running directly for this portal. Are you all doing the same?
Has Discovery also been
Discovery
iced?
just got iced.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We're running.
Yeah, the only one who is left is Elisharis, who is currently prone and is not looking particularly hot, and the hyena. That
I'm gonna have to make an attack this round, right?
No, the dude who had charmed you died.
No. I mean,
Maintain rage.
for my rage.
Yeah,
Can I attack Elisharis while she's on the ground?
for sure.
Okay, as I
Yeah,
run
you can
past.
attack. Yeah, there's enough time that you could attack and then move.
Yeah. At just a straight roll, right? Because I'm not. She's prone.
She's
which...
prone, so it's
yeah.
advantage.
Oh, it is. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was thinking ranged. Okay, 27.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna re-roll that because I can. Because then I always forget. It's one better. That's 11.
11 does not hit, but you still get that first
No.
one.
That's the damage.
Oh, 11. Okay. Sounds good.
The second attack is a 17.
17 does not hit.
I rolled a 6. It's fine.
Okay. And then you rush
Yeah.
off. Okay. Sounds good. So,
I have questions.
yes.
Is Discovery still alive?
No. Super dead.
Cool. I would like to drop Hex.
Okay.
And then whenever I am running to the portal, because that is what I'm doing, and I run by Prescott, I would like to bonus action cast Dragon's Breath on him.
Hell yeah. He's down for this.
So he will have a breath weapon, Dex save DC 14 for 3d6 points
Okay.
that he can do as an action whenever he so chooses.
Sounds good. All right, so Elisharis. So Al, what are you doing?
As he runs past Prescott, Prescott just hears a thank you. And he'll jump into the portal.
Okay. Sounds good. So portal, Cori.
Cori's going to the portal immediately.
Obviously, why wouldn't you?
Don't hesitate with portals, guys.
All right, and then Arjhan, Dragon's Breath, and then portal as well.
Dragon's Breath and then the dude's Skadood. We can too.
Okay, so thankfully you are able to get there when you do, and Arjhan, as you hop through this portal, you feel it close behind you. It seems like, surprisingly, Prescott knew what he was talking about with high-level magics. And you all are able to arrive through this portal.
On my previous turn, I also set my animated shield going. Sorry,
Okay.
I do that.
Sounds good. And when you arrive through this portal, looking down at the stones beneath you, you see that there is a spell circle, or a spell circle that must have been transcribed here hundreds of years ago. You are in what looks like it would be any other set of ruins, but the smell of an old fire is a stain upon this room. And as you look around, you see a massive set of stone doors that are ajar. And in this moment, you know that beyond a doubt, these doors were never meant to be opened. And you get the sense that the sickening blackness that seems to spill forth from these doors coaxes you forward. And that is where we are going to take our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stop by and join us on the quest to recover the boy. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to the drive-thru RPG link in the side chat or in the description below and pick yourself up the Shelter and Play bundle. It's pretty neato. And with that, we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! And we're back.
Bring him home.
What was that?
I have
Bring him
no
home.
idea.
Worth it. That's what that was.
Brava, brava.
Bravissimo. If I had flowers to throw all the way across the United States, they would land at your doorstep. All right, so we have returned. You guys have gone through the portal in the fortress of Caelum, and you have arrived in a seemingly unfamiliar ruin. Although, Cori, you get the sense that you were here before. Maybe not as a physical point of travel, but you've been in a place like this in a dream before. And as you stand before this set of double doors, you see that there is an owl mask that is just resting on the floor. And again, this door of impossible blackness that lays beyond the opened double door seems to call the four of you forward.
Are we still on initiative?
You are not.
Okay. Cori takes a few steps forward and seeing that mask, accelerates into a sprint.
Yeah, Gwen's just going straight in. She's still raging. I'd like to attack the ground, please.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll it?
No.
Okay. If it doesn't seem like keeping my rage is a thing that's gonna happen, she'll drop out of it. But she's
You can
pretty
punch him.
rageful right now.
Arjhan would let you punch him.
You don't want me to punch you right now.
Sure, I do.
We need all the HP. Save that for later.
I have +9 to my damage.
Okay.
I've just been rolling terrible.
So, you guys making your way towards the doors, investigating around. All right. And looking at the set of doors, Cori and Gwen, you recognize the stylings of it. These are the doors that you have seen when you have each been in Caelum's respective dream space. You recognize these to be the doors to the library of Saloon. And as the four of you enter into this blackness, it's like the ground and your surroundings melt into an inky liquid and you find yourself falling, a feeling of buoyancy in a sea of nothing. There is no light, there are no vibrant colors or wind whipping by, just the internal sense of sinking that is otherwise reserved for the anticipation of an impact of meteoric proportions. The sense that knowing that as soon as contact is established, there will never be a chance for things to be the same. Gwen, you come out of your rage as you fall, because time seems to take longer than you are able to find something to hit. And to feel some form of solid ground beneath your backs is like feeling the presence of a loved one after they have passed from the lands of the living. And as your eyes adjust to darkness, except for Arjhan, who does not have dark vision, you all realize that this darkness is all-encompassing. There's no sun. There are no stars. Nothing but a palpable and visceral absence of light. What do you do?
I'm going to take out my ever-burning torch.
Okay. And from the glow of your ever-burning torch, you can see a set of glinting and curious eyes gleaming down at you from the darkness as they hang off of a nearby column. And their body language is giving you the impression that they are, in a very non-threatening way, interested in the 3 new travelers that it has seen this day.
But I see a column.
It is holding on to what looks like a column that is just coming up from the ground. Cori, as you are looking around, and Arjhan, with the light being shed, the ground beneath you has a almost familiar give to it. This flooring that you stand on is not made of rock or stone or any other kind of flat surface. This seems to be made of some sort of meat.
Ah, the flesh floor. Love it.
Okay. Cori's gonna stand and look kind of suspiciously up at those eyes. Who are you?
And it kind of like looks at you. It shrugs. Says resident.
Resident of.
It motions.
We know we're not supposed to be here, but there are other people that came here too. Gwen is pulling out her climber's kit and she pulls out a grappling hook and she's starting to like wave it above her head to catch the pole so she can pull herself out. But there are other people here that aren't supposed to be here. We want them to go.
And it nods. And you don't see that there is an exit to this place. It actually seems like you are in a cave or a cavern. And it says, why would they be here? And it kind of like crawls down a little bit off of this column, and you can see that it walks forward with a hunched posture. It has reddish skin, pointed ears, this large, like a large predominant frontal forehead area that seems to kind of slide back a little bit. They are wearing very little in terms of clothing, and they just sort of look at you. They don't seem to have any real intent, any villainous intent.
Divine sense?
It does not smell like Fey Fiend or Undead, although it does look like a fiend.
Million coin question being, where are we?
Can you help us out of this pit, please?
Yes. For knowledge.
Did you know that some dragonborns have 2 penises?
And its eyes get big. This way, this way.
Happy Pride.
And the figure begins to kind of it doesn't really walk, as it more like scampers a little bit. It seems to walk using all 4 of its appendages, giving itself little hops here and there with its wings. And it leads you up out of this darkened area, and when you arrive outside, it says knowledge, name, and points towards the rest of the area. And then points towards Alberjean. Name.
Alberjean.
It motions again. The dying one. And now that you are out of this area, looking up into the sky, there is no sun. There are no moons. There just seems to be an ever-present shimmering of celestial bodies that are in some way far too close for what they should be. And it points towards you, Arjhan. Name.
Arjhan.
And it points upward and makes a kind of arcing motion with both of its arms.
What?
The sea. Arjhan, make an Arcana check.
I'm not following what's going on.
Oh,
at
I
all.
think he's asking names for
An exchange
basically
of information.
directions.
8.
Okay, you have no idea where you are. But what your understanding of this is, as Gwen had said, lead us out of this cavern, and it asked for knowledge. It seems to be willing to do things for you as long as you keep telling it things. And since it did not know your names, it is currently accepting that as a form of payment for leading you to the outside, then letting you know where you are.
Gwen, Stompfoot.
Where would you like to go?
I want to find my friend, Caelum, the one who came in here, the really pale one with an owl mask. Didn't have an owl mask when he came in here. White skin, black eyes.
And it takes one
Pointy
long,
ears.
gnarled finger and kind of plays with a little bit of hair that it has growing at the bottom of its chin. It squints. And then nods, and then motions for you all to follow it. And
I follow.
as you do, while you're walking atop of this surface, every once in a while you will reach it's almost like a split intersection, and you see this creature pull out a small satchel of bones and just tosses them forward. And you see them kind of look at these bones curiously, nod, put them back inside of its bag, and then we'll go into a direction. Gwen, you are familiar with the casting of bones as a process of divination. So thankfully, this is at least somewhat familiar to you. And it will lead you up towards a peak, and from this peak you can see that there is this brilliant violet light that seems to come from over the summit. And as you get nearer, the creature that you are with gets a even more curious glance. Interesting. You see them go forward even more until they are on the peak of the summit, and they look down. They turn towards you, and you can see that they have a bit more of a smile on their face.
Be careful, it could be dangerous.
Open. And
Open
it
to where?
It points excitedly down. Open.
Is that where our friend is?
As you look in this otherworldly hellscape aboard what has been called the Dying One, you see a building. And it is a building that both Gwen and Cori have seen before. Or at least a building styled like it. Whereas the Library of Saloon was made with limestone and done up in bright colors with these beautiful light blue mosaics, this structure looks like it is made of darkness infused with the stone itself. The stained glass windows are mirrored images that are all just shining out with this glorious violet energy. And the creature that you are with says, open. Come. It's not opened before. Come.
I'll open the door.
So, continuing down the summit, the door is already open.
Okay.
And as this creature hops up to it, they kind of pat their hands against the sides and peer inward, and then pop back, and you see them close their eyes and deep breath. Come.
Wait. You've never been in here before? Then you
What?
shouldn't go in there now.
What is this place?
This is the temple. This is the thing in Caelum's brain space, but like not this one. It's kind of similar.
Library.
Yeah.
There are many things that require answers.
Yeah,
have
but I don't.
questions.
If it's been closed to you before, it shouldn't be open to you now, because they're not supposed to be in here.
Locked. But now open.
Yeah. I'm saying you're not allowed in here because you weren't allowed in here before.
You're not allowed.
Well, we're not going to look at books and steal knowledge, sir.
Not stealing. Learning.
You can't give it back.
When is this really important right now?
Well, it's his temple, right? I mean, I don't know what this thing is. I appreciate your help, sir, but like, I feel like it's a sacred thing.
I'm going forward.
And
Fine.
the creature
Don't
like
get out of
motions to Arjhan. Like he gets to go in.
Fine. But if you do anything that's going to piss me off, be warned. I'm on a hairpin trigger right now.
And
Cori's going to give some lay on hands to Alberjean. I'll get you back up to full.
Okay. So you all enter into this library, and as you do, you watch as your newest unnamed companion goes up to one of these books, pulls it down, looks at it, his eyes kind of quickly scan the page, closes the book, turns his head upwards. Euphoria! He opens up the book again, and he just begins turning through it. Each page seems to be going quicker until he finishes it in a matter of seconds, closes it, puts it back onto the shelf, and grabs the one next to it and begins to repeat the process. And the creature says, "So much to know, always questions. Now, answers. Answers to all. Much thanks to you.
Do you know where our friend is now?
Motions library.
Do you know what
Alright.
they're trying to do?
Shakes his head.
Just don't take anything, okay?
I will stay.
Is there a giant here?
Shrugs.
Is there anyone? Do you know anyone who's here besides the two people that just walked in?
Never been here. Locked. Motions back towards the door.
All right. Well, Caelum was learning giant, so I assumed there was something here.
Who does this place belong to?
He looks around. The Night Mother.
Okay.
Did it always?
Yes. Always, always.
So I was going forward
Okay.
and frantically trying to search for anything pertaining to Caelum, where he or Daddy Bad Guy are.
Okay.
Are you trying to track a Fey Fiend or Undead?
You are.
I'm going to assume no. Okay.
Caelum's hint of Fey.
Yeah, I mean, he's hint of Fey, but his creature type is not Fey. As far as I know.
Can I make a history or religion check for Night Mother?
Sure.
13.
19.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
13 on a survival check if I was trying to track him.
okay.
Sorry.
So Al, you have heard of the Night Mother before. She is the goddess Shar, the goddess of deep secrets and knowledge, where Saloon is very much an open-handed styled knowledge. Shar is murmurings and utterances of knowledge that may or may not exist or should exist.
Was I ever told that we might go up against a goddess?
No, you were
Cool.
not. You were told you were going to get your friend back, but to be fair, you already have kind of gone up against a goddess in the form of Amorous before.
Yeah.
This just seems to be the MO for these group of chuckleheads that you've attached yourself to.
Alright, guys. This is where I leave. Gonna read books here with my new pal. What's your name? I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, I.
And there is one thing, Al, that you know about the Night Mother. And it is something that you have potentially familiarized yourself with, at least by a little. And that is the power of names. Shar knows all things that are forbidden, all things that should not be known. And when you get to the section that you can see, there are things such as history, agriculture, language, even comics. Shar has all sorts of things, but the one section that you see in this library that is of interest is the section simply called names. And you see that in this section there are books missing from the shelves.
Well, that's not good.
What?
He'll point down to the section. Shaw knows everything. Every hidden thing. Including names. True names.
That's
And-
rude.
Well, that's her job. Portfolio or whatever, what have you. And you, Miss Caelum of the Fallen Leaves, should know that names have power.
She sort of nods and her eyes drift over to the shelves. And her hand reaches just a little bit, and she pulls it back and she says, "We have a job to do."
Is Shar good or bad?
Bad. Very
okay.
bad. She's the opposite of the goddess that Caelum worships. Saloon.
So why is this temple? Was he always praying to her, or is it just because
Two
they
separate
look,
temples.
but they just look exactly the same?
They're like a mirror image of each other.
Okay. All right. Arjhan, can you track him?
Arjhan's been like frantically looking around this library while everybody else was having a conversation with what's his face.
Yeah. No, Arjhan, you are also able to kind of pinpoint this is the area that you need to start searching for. The towers of books that you see don't stretch to the very ceiling. It looks like with a little bit of vertical, you'd actually be able to get a good look at what it is this section appears to be, at least from an aerial view. As far as being able to track down your friends, this library is packed full of knowledge, but it's never been visited from what you're able to see. So the fact that there are missing books along the shelf that seem to be going in a particular direction would lead you to think that somebody is stocking up. Ah, Word Fangirl, thank you for the raid!
Wait.
I don't
Wait.
know what to do with that information.
You feel like if you were to follow that direction, you would be able to hopefully find your friends.
I
you go.
followed that direction and asked my friends to follow in that direction to hopefully find my friends.
We do that.
Okay?
We follow.
Sounds good. And as you are making your way deeper into this library, it begins to twist and form in ways that break your sense of depth perception. It's like an MC Escher style painting, but just with books placed around. But I'd like everybody to make perception checks.
19.
13.
7.
Filthy 20.
Okay, so everyone except for Cori hears what sounds like Dwarvish being spoken. And you can place the voice being that of Father Linar. Do you begin your approach?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gwen's going in full cocked. Half
Sounds
cocked.
good.
She's going in hot.
She's going in cocked of some sort.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Everybody. So, you all begin making your way towards the sound of this dwarvish individual. And you have a brief moment where you peer around the corner and you see Caelum. And he is standing looking down at the back of this dwarven man. And now that you can get a good look at your friend, he is wearing, normally he has a very light blue, white color aesthetic for his robes to signify being a practitioner of Saloon. The robes that he wears now are black and a deep purple, and you can see that his skin, while normally gray, is a little bit more pallid. and there are these deep vein-like cracks that seem to come up from inside of those robes onto his face, and in his eyes there is this billowing purple energy that seems to spill out from it. And Vinar points at the shelf, and you see him speak in Dwarven. Caelum grabs a book and then just puts it into a bag. Would you like to make a stealth check to prevent being seen by these two?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm making this a disadvantage.
I also am making this a disadvantage. So, solidarity.
Oh. Huh.
21.
Okay.
Rolling has never been easier with D&D Beyond. Not sponsored.
Could be.
Could be.
Okay. Cori.
4.
Okay. Alberjean.
8.
Gwen.
Gwen's gonna yell at him.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Can we say that Arjhan has Can
Alright.
we say that Arjhan has broken off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arjhan,
I mean, I'm probably like up in the air, just like
Arjhan, you could hop on top of one of the shelves.
Oh, hell yeah.
getting in a sniper position.
Yeah.
Every now and then we have like a distant shot, and then like an Arjhan shaped shadow goes by.
Yeah. Like gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
God, maybe I should have gone rogue with the respec.
Get that assassinated off.
Mm.
all right, so what's everyone's initiative?
Oh boy.
Are we rolling it?
That's we are.
I sure would like to.
Arjhan
Better-
got 4.
This many. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
I have an advantage. I rarely roll above a 10.
I got a 15.
I got a 15.
I got a 12.
What's your dex score?
12.
12? Oh, mine's 13.
We've had
Ladies
2
first.
initiative rolls
Thank you.
this episode. My first one was a natural 20. This one is a natural 1.
It's getting better.
Okay.
You're averaging.
Sounds good. So
You read Vic's comment.
I'm trying to decide what Gwen says.
well, Gwen, you have the opportunity to run forward, yell one thing, and then we will start off the initiative order.
Gwen is gonna run forward, axe in hand, eyes ablaze before she actually rages because stuff. She's gonna say, "Take your goddamn hands off my son!"
Okay. Sounds good. So, we're going to go to the start of the round with Caelum. And Gwen, as you are rushing forward, Father Whitehall just motions towards you in a very dismissive manner. And you see Caelum level up his left arm, draw forward with his right, peer back, and is going to be using a guiding volt towards you. So, that is a 10. I don't believe will hit.
Nah, fam.
All right. So then Caelum is going to look at your group and just kind of squint. And there is a level of malice about him looking at your crew. So next up is, I believe, Cori, what did you say your... Oh, yeah. You guys go first, and then it's Linar. For sure.
Okay. Corey's gonna sprint directly for Caelum. Bonus action, get the animated shield up, but she's running right for Caelum.
Okay.
If she can get next to him, she's got something to do.
Yeah. You'd be able to get next to him.
She prays to every god she knows that this will work. She's going to run up to him, kind of slip behind him and put her hand on the back of his neck and cast Remove Curse.
The spell fails.
Okay.
And as you get onto his back to grab onto his neck, you see that his armor has, or his robes have what look like slats in them. And beneath those slats, you can see what look to be feathers. Ow.
Can I get up to Father Linar?
Yes, you can.
Can I punt him like a football?
You can
except
try.
without Lucy kind of yanking him away, Charlie Browning me.
You can certainly try.
Bonus action rage. Because we all know barbarians go off. Okay. Reckless. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit. Or actually, it does not. Holy shit. Might be.
Okay.
Yep.
Second attack. Nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Plus an extra. Whoop-a-doop-a-doo. That's 18 points of bludgeoning damage, and he needs to make a strength save.
He failed.
He is punted 15 feet back into a shelf.
Okay. He takes 1d6. He was right next to a shelf, so he's going to be taking the full amount if you just slam him into the shelf wall.
Because this is a separate effect from my attack, this does not get doubled.
It does not.
Okay. For an additional 5 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. Sounds good. So, next up is him's turn. And he is...
Did he get the same initiative as...
Yeah,
Did...
he also
Oh,
got
wow.
15. Yep. So he is going to look at your group and just, like, he's very disgruntled about the fact that your group is here doing this thing when he was so very close. So he is going to extend a dismissive hand forward. Gwen, I need you to make a charisma save.
Oh my god.
Banishment. Banishment.
+3.
$21.
Okay. The 21 is good enough. You are not banished.
Thank the gods.
That's a good time.
Oh my gods.
Open for adventure. Thanks for the raid.
Yes, thank you, Open for Adventure. You showed up. You show up at the best parts every week.
Wait.
Hell yeah. We're getting our boy back!
Say hi.
We hope.
There you go.
Yay!
Yay! Yay!
All right, so that was it for Linar's turn. Next up is going to be Gwen.
Isn't it Arjhan's turn? I got lower than them, I thought.
Arjhan got a
I got
4.
a natural 1.
Oh, JK. Gwen is going to Tiny Rage. She's going to go for it. She is going to just run full sprint at Father Linar and, recklessly attack him.
Okay.
26. Ooh, 16 on the second one.
Whoa.
16 doesn't hit, right?
No.
Okay.
It do not.
So action surge because you girl. Wait, I can't action surge, can I? That's a bonus action, right?
No.
Action surge? Action surge is a free action. You can just do
Solid.
it.
Do it.
I'm doing it. Oh boy. Still alive. Does a 20 hit?
A 20 does not hit.
A 20 doesn't hit?
No.
Sorry.
Okay. Excuse me?
And it doesn't look like he's necessarily wearing armor either. It just looks like his skin is thick enough to withstand the blows.
Okay.
don't
Gwen
start me.
does 14 damage
Okay.
on her attack. I only hit once, right? Yeah. Action, bonus action, Lego.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Gwen, that was your turn. Arjhan, you're on top of a book of on a shelf of books, not a book of shelves. That's an IKEA catalog. And looking down, you can see that Cori and Gwen and Al have engaged themselves with Caelum and Father Linar.
I've got 3 questions.
Yes.
I had cast Dragon's Breath on Prescott earlier.
Yes.
Is that concentration still up? Like,
It is.
has he used it?
He has.
Okay.
Yeah, he used it almost immediately.
Have I been able to keep my crossbow lit?
I will say yes.
Okay. Have I been perceived? I had a 21 on stealth.
The only one who has noticed you is Caelum.
Okay. 4th question. Who has ridiculously thick skin?
Father Linar.
Okay. I need to double check one of my abilities because I know that it changed with the Blood Hunter update.
Father Linar is also currently prone after being knocked into a bookshelf by the two-handed weapon that your dear friend Alberjean
Okay.
uses.
That is fine. I'm going to amplify a blood curse of the march as my bonus action.
Okay.
To get advantage against Caelum.
Dr. Petrichor, thank you so much for the follow.
And I would like to hit him with some walloping ammunition.
Okay. Also,
I would
thank
like
you
to-
to Hamas123 for the follow.
I would like to try.
There we go.
All right, he needs a dex save.
Well, it's going to be a strength save if I hit.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it another
The
one.
next attack roll I made. Okay.
No, we're just like whatever.
There's a 27 hit.
Yes.
Okay. Caelum needs to make a strength save.
You know your boy doesn't got that upper body strength.
It's a 10.
Sir.
It is a 10. Let's see. That's a 6 on the dice, which means a 7.
Okay. Caelum is not prone, so that means the next attack I'd make against either guy is going to be at disadvantage, so that's cool. 14 points of piercing damage. And 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
That was my first attack. Does
Okay.
an 18 hit Caelum?
Caelum will use a shield spell.
Does Cori Mage Slayer?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she does.
Okay.
At advantage because he's prone.
God damn.
It true.
Stop enjoying this so much.
It's not the first time that we've had to kick Caelum's ass.
Won't
not
be
the
the
first time, and it won't be the last. 15 probably doesn't hit.
A 15 does not.
All right.
And when you have seen Caelum normally cast a shield spell, it is a very quick motion of the hand, almost in a dismissive, please don't touch me kind of way. From his back, 6 pitch black wings shoot out and actually create a cover guard in front of him, blocking the arrow from penetrating him.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa.
You motherfucker.
Oh, this one gets wings. I see.
It's true. And you see that they are riddled with these vibrant violet veins. So, next up, that was Arjhan's turn.
I'm thinking of the models of like Lucifer and Satanael from Persona.
Close. Close. Knights in the Courtyard, for sure. And it is now Caelum's turn. And Caelum is going to stand with ragged breath, and as he does, he puts both of his hands down towards his hips and extends his wings out. And when he does, from the shadows, you feel Arjhan, Cori, and Al. You each feel something tugging on you. And as you look at Caelum's fingers, you see that these red threads leap from the floor and wrap themselves around his fingers, and he rips them upward. I need everybody who was mentioned to make a save, and let me get the spell up. That is going to be a Constitution save.
Boy.
+3 if you're
9.
near me.
Cori, you were not involved in the casting of this spell.
Okay.
So 9 for Arjhan?
Mm-hmm.
Gwen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was everyone but Gwen.
No, it was everyone
Constitution?
but Cori.
I-
Yes.
Is this against
I
being
heard
poison?
Cori.
It is not.
Okay.
24.
16.
So 16 and 24, both of you will be taking half damage as Caelum casts Negative Energy Flood.
That's some Strahd level bullshit right there.
So, Arjhan, you are going to be taking 27 points of necrotic damage. Gwen, you and Al are both going to only be taking 13 points.
I'm only taking 6.
Nice. All right, sounds good. So that was Caelum's turn. Next up is Cori, Al, and Linar. But Linar goes last. So, Al, between you and Cori, which one had you decided to be the one who goes first?
It's me.
Ladies first.
He's still next to me, right?
He is.
Okay. There's a lot of different things I could do here. But I get the idea that this is going to be my best option. Cori's going to start swinging
Okay.
at Caelum. 19.
Caelum will cast another shield spell.
All right. Reaction attack.
Okay.
14 probably doesn't hit.
It does not.
Okay. I still have a second attack though. Could still hit.
You do.
27.
27 does hit the boy.
Okay. 3rd level smite.
Cori, you are
What?
going to be getting additional dice for this.
Why?
Caelum registers as undead.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Good to know. Jesus. A 3rd level smite? Okay.
You are the one who said it.
I said it, but I didn't know it until I did. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, with D&D Beyond, it's never been easier to kill your friends. Let me go ahead and roll the slashing damage first. That's going to be 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
And with a it's just 1 extra if it's undead, right?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, it is. It's fine. This is fine. I get 1 for advanced smite, 2 for the best, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 d8s.
That is many.
It's probably fine. 30 radiant damage.
Okay. Caelum still stands.
That's all I got.
Okay. Alberjean. There's
I think that when she swings at him, she there's a moment of surprise, not expecting it to have hit as hard as it did. Go on.
There's a dwarven man on his back that you just rocked into the side of a shelf.
Great weapon fighter, reckless. So that is a 22 to hit.
Oh, a 22 does hit.
Cool.
But a 20 does not.
23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
And second attack, he's going to... Oh, no. Yeah. Great weapon fighter again, reckless.
Reckless attack.
Natural 20.
Nice. Sweet fucking deal.
Sweet fucking deal. 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to flare up my... my barbarian rage power. So they take... Where is my storm's path? 2 fire damage. And if Caelum is within 10 feet, he too takes 2 fire damage.
He is.
That's not controlled, right?
That's a bonus action.
Right, but I'm right next to you.
Oh, everyone takes 2.
Not me.
Except for-
I'm
except for-
insufferable.
Oh!
Hey, listen. If no one hits you, then at least you've taken damage this round. Keep
Not
your
like
rage-
I'm not attacking.
All right. Father Linar, as you score a critical hit against him, has an ability for justice. It's called Psychic Engine. So everyone within 5 feet of him is going to be taking 16 points of psychic damage.
Oh, that don't go good.
Sir?
-8 for you.
Blood just starts dripping out of Alberjean's nose.
And Father Linar is going to stand up and look at you, Al. And he smiles and says, "You must be one of Discovery's failed creations. To think that you would go through such lengths for somebody that you barely know. Pity you have to die here." And he is going to make an attack against you. That is a natural 1 for his first attack. So we're going to make a second.
Was it at advantage?
It was not at advantage, so thank you. That's a much better attack. So his first attack then is a 27 to hit.
Too high.
He is going to be dealing 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and then you need to make a strength save.
I'm great.
What is he using, sorry, to attack?
His hand. He's just
Oh.
straight up punching.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Sounds good. So that's a success. So, yeah, you're good. And you feel like this old dude, this old dwarf, has a lot more strength behind this one punch than you gave him credit for.
It's a fucking monk, and that was a stunning strike.
It was not.
Or open hand attack, whatever it is.
That is
Open
a
palm.
Yeah.
Quivering palm.
28 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. So that is going to be for 13 points of bludgeoning. And then I need you to make a strength save.
Damage. Strength save is a 16.
Okay. A 16 is not enough.
I used Dark One's own luck.
Okay.
So I added D10 to that.
It's a 17 that you needed, so it doesn't matter what you roll on Dark One's luck. You succeed.
Cool.
You are good on that. And then they are going to try and do a heckin' kick towards you. That is a 17 to hit.
On the nose.
Okay. Sounds good. So then they are going to kick you for 12 points of bludgeoning.
Mhm.
And then an 18 to hit. I believe
Hits.
also hits. Yep. And that is going to be for 10 points of bludgeoning.
This old man hurts.
Next up, Gwen.
Gwen is going to use your bonus action to manifest an echo behind Father Linar. And then she is going to heckin' attack this boy. Let me just double check. All right, cool. So Gwen is going to recklessly attack because he stood up, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's a goddamn natural 20.
Nice.
Wait, no.
Thanks.
More
Uh,
psychic damage.
What?
Oh, he's got shit for nat 20s.
I don't care. Feels good, man.
Feels
Um,
bad.
Are you saying there can be bad things that happen because of a natural 20? I don't believe you.
Honey, you got a
Natural 20s are
storm
all
coming.
based-
23 damage
Okay.
with the run axe.
Sounds good. So you are going to be taking 11 points of
Fuck.
psychic damage.
He should have been doing all of those attacks at natural. I'm sorry. All of his attacks because Gwen attacked him.
We will remember for next time.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, Gwen takes how much damage?
11
11.
psychic damage. So does Cori. So does Alberjean.
Sorry. Does a 21 hit
A 21 just hits.
for 18 damage?
Okay.
And then behind him, Gray Skull is also going to do an attack for my Unleash Incarnation. Let me see if there's...
Welcome to the mosh pit, Father Linar.
Right?
This motherfucker's got the sombrero. And that's a knight in the courtyard.
That's a 24.
Damage or to hit?
No, that's 24 to hit
Okay, that'll hit.
for 13 damage.
Okay.
Oh, I backed out. JK. So yeah, Gwen lays into him, and then Gray Skull behind him will just crack his axe into his back.
Sounds good. Arjhan. Caelum is
Caelum's-
looking very rough. still up, though.
Okay. For my bonus action, would like to hex Caelum.
Okay.
And then make a couple of attacks at Caelum. Will a 16 hit? No.
No, not with the shield up.
Can I request that his ability checks be strength? The ones that are at disadvantage?
I've just been defaulting to strength.
Okay.
Oh. Wait. Okay, never mind. Yeah. The other one hit. The other one didn't hit either. It was a 15. That's my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. So, next up is the top of the round with Caelum. And Father Linar calls out to him. And he does so in Dwarven again. And once more, you hear him utter the phrase, Sabrak. And this time, Caelum turns towards you, Cori. And you see him rear back with his right hand. And you see the makings of what is sure to be a, I believe...
Evermore life hunt.
Yes. And as Caelum levels his hand towards you, you can see that there are tears that are streaming down the sides of his face as he looks towards you. This purplish energy just glinting off of the free-falling water that spills from his ducts. And you see that his expression otherwise remains unchanged for but a moment. And his hand lowers and then straightens itself up again. And as it comes back, Caelum's eyes are wide, and it looks like as though he has just suffered a lethal blow, and you all begin to hear a noise. An ancient and deep utterance bellowing from a place far beyond the realm of possibility that creeps into the existence of your sudden reality. And Caelum, you begin to remember. You remember Ruddick's betrayal. You remember being taken into an abandoned hut and kept under a watchful eye. You remember the long road that led across the plains, stuck inside of a cramped cart without the ability to use your abilities. You remember Amara sheltering you and the night she disappeared. Linar and Discovery had been prepping for her absence, and how on the pinnacle of that night you had died. But it wasn't like when you were in Greenreach. This time, your spirit was stopped before it entered the flow. Everyone else begins to see the deep purple energies of Shar beginning to sputter. The violet veins that covered his wings and the energy that comes out of his eyes begins to sputter. And for a breath, you see your friend. Your scared, clumsy, babbling friend. But a breath can only be held for so long. Caelum's wings extend outward as invisible winds begin to wrap around him, and the ancient groaning sound is getting louder and louder as his eyes once again fill with light. But where once there was violent tinted darkness, there is instead a light of brilliant silver. And he begins to... It seems like this sound is coming from Caelum. In your studies, Caelum, you have heard of dark rituals that spellcasters would perform when at the peak of their power to keep them alive indefinitely. A ritual which had involved stripping the spirit from the body in the moment of death, preventing the mortal vessel from passing on. It is a dangerous process, and without the proper precautionary measures, can end with all too dire consequences. But your ultimate familiarity with this ritual is not due to your own research. It came from Linar and Discovery's success. After that, you remember the raw power of the Night Mother, and you remember the unbridled knowledge that the darkness gave freely, and you remember the 10th word. It started with a word, as it always does. From audible silences to cacophonous dins, words give meaning to emptiness. And the masters of the weave knew this. Each school of magic finds its roots in one of the 9 words, but the knowledge of the dark gave truth to a word that needed to be hidden away. A word whose power epitomizes its existence and risks the possibility to see it wiped from the face of the plains. You all watch as this silver light spills out of Caelum along the fractures of his personage as he raises up into the air. His hair flies loose, flowing around him on the winds as his eyes shine with this cold brilliance. And Caelum's face turns towards a stammering Father Linar, his own eyes wide in the face of the boy he called Broken. And as Caelum's mouth opens, this ancient guttural noise comes from it. RJ, I'm sending you a word. A word that is impossible to comprehend, that now effortlessly comes from Caelum's glowing lips. This otherwise brilliant black figure, now with beautiful white glowing hair, white eyes, and it seems like his entire personage is that of cold brilliance.
Caelum will look down at Father Linar and tilt his head quizzically before he rightens it. Aberis.
And you all watch as Father Linar begins to spin, starting at his most central point. It seems like his existence begins to unravel in front of you until there is nothing that remains. Father Linar tries his best to say something, anything, to command you back into subservience. But you are free. And as the silence once again takes the room, Caelum drops to his knees and falls forward onto the floor with this brilliant white aura around him going dimmer and dimmer until once again you see his raven black hair. The wings that he had proudly upon his back also seem to dissipate. And lying in front of you is your friend. You are out of initiative.
Did Father Linar disappear?
Oh, he's no longer existent.
Who are we fighting besides Caelum?
Father Linar, he's gone now.
Oh, he's dead.
Cori
There
drops
was
her
no
sword, and she moves forward to put a hand on Caelum.
There is no pulse. But he has a look in his eyes like he is resting.
Like unconscious.
Yes.
Cori will put her hand on his chest and say, "You did it. Rest." And she'll pick him up.
As
And-
light as he ever was.
Yep, just throw him over her shoulders, and she says, "Let's go."
Did Father Lionheart do a loot drop?
He did.
Whatever it is, it's going in the bag point, and we'll take care of it later. How do
He
we get out of
dropped a
here?
bag? Do you want to put that bag within the bag?
I don't want to
Obvious.
risk that.
Okay, that seems like a very smart play right now.
I don't want to risk that, but I will take the bag. How do we get out of here?
Gwen is still in her rage,
Yeah.
and she begins to chop, like, seeing Father Linar go away and not die in a means that she is willing to put forward. She is going to start chopping down everything that is near her. So whatever's close, she's just like destroying bookshelves and
Oh yeah.
Okay.
After a bit, I'm gonna stop her.
Gwen, you destroy the first bookshelf, and as it falls, you see a beautiful woman, hair as black as midnight, pulled
Oh,
back
God.
into a bun,
Run!
full moon glasses, who just looks at you and says, I wouldn't do that here.
the rage, like, you guys have never seen the rage go away so quickly. She's like, oh, I'm sorry.
You wanted my
Gwen,
attention.
wait,
You have it.
Are you the curator?
In a manner of speaking.
Can
We're
I
gonna-
help you find a book?
You know, if it was another day, another time, we gotta go. Can I have your number? Oh.
Gwen!
Sorry.
We're leaving now!
Okay,
She's still
you're
in summer
beautiful. Gotta
form.
go.
Sorry.
She makes the sending me sign towards you as you
Solid.
leave and says, if you ever want to know what they took from you, all you need to do is ask.
Wait. Wait. Who took what?
The gnomes. Aren't you
The
curious?
fucking. I am, but my friend is my main priority right now. You are very attractive. I gotta go.
See to it then.
Goodbye, beautiful lady.
Please. Call me the Night Mother.
Oh shit, Gwen runs.
Okay.
Gwen literally flirting with disaster.
All right.
On brand.
And as you are making your way out of this library, Cori, there is a moment where you feel a book in this names section call out to you. And you hear a voice that Gwen had just got done hearing say, haven't you been curious? All this time, all the effort that she took to get rid of her own name. It's here. I'll give you a bargaining chip. Aren't you the least bit curious?
I'm just
Okay.
Gwen was able to keep it in her pants for this. I'm just gonna put that.
I'm gonna step out of character for a second here. Wings doesn't know what we're talking about.
Out of character. Who is it that Cori currently owes a very powerful debt that she has nothing on the table of value that she can barter with?
Oh shit.
The Raven Queen.
It's just trading favors. Motherfucking piece of. Is this freely given?
Of course it is.
I'm going to hold you to that. She'll take it.
Okay.
Stop
Sorry,
being
I'm
that happy about this. I'm terrified.
Oh, this is absolutely a bad decision for all of us.
Okay.
But I'm just like, yes, please.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Arjhan, as you are making your way out, you also espies seems like a map just laying on a table. And it says, and you hear the same voice. You've been looking for her for so long, Tylera. Wouldn't it be nice to know where she is so you can say hello?
I do not engage.
That's the smart play. Okay. And Al, you also hear a similar voice, but knowing better, you continue onward. And as you are making your way out of this building, you're going down the entrance/exit hallway, and you see this creature that had led you in. And there is just a pile of books that are stacking up next to them, and they are peering through. And they look at you. Found?
Yeah, we're good. How do we get out of here?
Points towards the exit. Like, he literally
your-
is, like, in the hallway.
Like,
What?
back to Alira.
Oh.
In Toro, apparently it is, whenever you take a ship, you are legally obligated to change its name.
And they nod and say,
Thank you, Jill Fan.
and they sort of like motion towards the door, and they say, there are others, so I locked. And when you exit the doors and wish goodbye to this creature who felt like names were useless, there is a cracking noise. A cracking noise of epic proportions that comes from Coriander. And Cori, as you look at the hilt of your blade where the symbol of Elisharis once stood,
Motherfucker.
you realize that it is broken. Your oath has broken. And as this loud crack continues, the library behind you shimmers and dissipates. And you hear the sound of leathered wings. Gargantuan leathered wings. At least 8 pairs. And they seem to be coming towards your direction. And looking above the hillside that led down into this valley, you have seen one of these creatures before, and they were bronze and much, much older. But over this ridge, you see what appear to be 8 adult red dragons, and on the back of 5 of them are reptilian-looking individuals that seem to be wearing tribal-like gear. And the 4 of you receive a message directly into your heads that asks, "What are you doing here?" And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by as we finally got our boy back. Oh man, I'm so glad that we finally got to do this. Recovery, everybody. What a good time. So with that, I would like to say, hey, everybody who rated, that was really cool to see. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our new followers as well. Hey, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream video games. Currently, it's Skyrim together with Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com fame and Frothy Inferno. You can catch me on Thursday over at G Game Nights at 4 o'clock EST, where we're playing a Good Society game called Elegant Suffering. I'm playing a noble who is trying to win back daddy's money and the hand of the woman he loves. On Sundays, you can catch me here as Hassan, the Yuan-Ti Druid cleric. And hey, special announcement. I'm going to be guest starring shortly for a few weeks over at the Hype Goblins channel. So you can catch me there on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday morning. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. EST and a whopping 8:30 a.m. EST on Sunday morning. DanaeKeener.com.
I am LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on Twitter and Twitch. Tomorrow I'll be streaming sometime in the afternoon, playing Overwatch by myself or with friends. I'm still not sure. I'll be on Nerdiversion's channel on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing Rod of Seven Parts, a 5th edition game. On Thursday, I'll be back on my channel doing a horror game. I don't know which one. I think Suite 776, but we don't know. And then Friday, I'll be on Encounter Roleplay's channel at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, playing Heroes, a masks game. It's super fun. Saturday I have off. Sunday I have double duty. G Game Nights at 4 o'clock doing our Slaying 101 game, and then after it, I'll be back here. DanaeKeener.com.
Hoi, I'm Cyber. Cyberwolf121.live has most of the things I do. You can also check out jabroni.tv for all the jabronis and the things they do. Indoors on there. And yeah, it's good. You can find my Twitch where I play games bad. I talk about lore. I play Final Fantasy VII and try to do a whole bunch of push-ups and then reach muscle failure a whole bunch of times, but also raise a whole bunch of money for Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter. That's good. Happy Pride, but make it wrath. The archives are on YouTube. Let's talk about it's on the YouTube. It's been a while since I recorded an episode. I don't know when the next episode is going to come up. I'm very tired. Patreon, Taldore conversions, merch. What's not on there is this. Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm here Mondays, 5e games. It's good. I'm also on Pro Restar's channel. This Saturday, I think, is my one-on-one with Pro Restart, so that'll be fun. Why is Kuruk in a blood cocoon? We'll find out next time on Taldore. Ooh-wee. DanaeKeener.com.
And speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play as Baz, the Drow Rogue, on Sundays, and on Mondays I play as Cori under the Eladrin. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. We do shows like this Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't think that we have anything planned for this Thursday. We might have a one-shot. Who knows? It'll be a good time. Speaking of good times, we also do a show at 7 o'clock p.m. PST here where we do our Tomb of Annihilation game that just started. So if you're looking for a new series to jump into, consider sticking around for Tomb. It's run by our dear friend Frothy Inferno, aka Tyler.com. It's a great time. But For now, we are going to be heading into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So before we go, I would like to say one last time, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!